Hi, Dinara.
Hi, James. What are we going to do this time?
Yeah, so we're listening to, so we've got another IELTS listening question. So this particular one is different. So this one is multiple choice. So shall we? So let's carry on then. Okay. So with this one, so this is a classic multiple choice. You've got two questions, and you've just got to listen to the text. So let's get started. So tape script for IELTS listening and recording. Okay, so we've got the tape script here. Yeah, so I'll be A, you can be B. So always, I think actually before we read that out, always have a look when you've got a listening exercise, always look at the answer, at the question first and the options. So because then you will be more familiar with what you've got to listen out for. So in this case, you're looking for what type of insurance does the person choose and where does the customer want the goods delivered? So is that to a port, a home, or a depot?
Okay.
And that word also might be pronounced depot by some people, but so depot and depot, they both exist. Let's listen. Okay, right. Now, obviously, insurance is an important thing to consider, and our companies are able to offer very good rates in a number of different all-inclusive packages.
Sorry, could you explain a bit more?
Yes, sorry. There's really three rates according to quality of insurance cover. There's the highest comprehensive cover, which is premium rate. Then there's standard rate, and then there's economy rate. That one will only cover the cost of the content secondhand.
Oh, I've been stung before with economy insurance, so I'll go for the highest.
And can I just check, would you want home delivery or to a local depot, or would you want to pick it up at the nearest port?
The port be fine. I've got transport that end.
Fine. And will you be paying by credit card?
Can I pay by check? James, I have some questions.
Absolutely. You'll never know the answer. You can pay by check or not.
Yeah. I don't understand the word stung, like I was stung by a bee, for example, right?
Yes, exactly. Also, you know, in terms of the sensation of pain, so sometimes it can sting. You get that stinging pain, for example. So we often use it for metaphors of, you know, as in damage, based for that reason. So if something really stings, then, oh, it's really tough. It's, you know, as in you really feel the negative side effects. So it's used metaphorically here. What they mean by I've been stung before is, yeah, so it's been bad for me. I've had to pay lots of money because of economy insurance before. So that's what they mean in this context, exactly, because the literal term, it comes more from, bee stings, wasp stings, hornet stings, scorpion sting, of course, as well, and some other animals, but that's where it comes from,
I see, thank you. And depot, I thought that is some kind of place for big cars, but in this case, do they mean an office?
I think they mean more sort of like a warehouse, basically, is what they mean here. So a place where the goods are stored, ready to be shipped. I think that's what they mean by this.
And they have office, insurance company have office there?
So I wouldn't think the insurance company have an office there. I think that's where the manufacturer or the retailer stores the goods ready to be shipped. So the manufacturer, for example, stores it at the depot, waiting to either be delivered to their shops or to be passed on to somebody else.
I just still don't understand, sorry. So we're talking about now insurance company, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And so, as I understand, they drop documents at depot, and clients, they pick them up from there.
Yeah, so I think that what this is a customer speaking to a shipping agent. So the shipping agent is going to pick up the goods and deliver this large box to a company overseas. So I'm assuming that the shipping agent, they are going to handle the delivery of this box, and so they want to know what kind of insurance does the customer want.
Ah, I see. Thank you. And another phrase I didn't understand. I've got transport that end. What does it mean?
So in other words, from the port, they have transport. They have transport that can take it on to the next part. To the next leg, basically. So that part of the journey is covered.
Interesting.
I think that's what they mean. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think also that there's an interesting point to bring up, and you will hear this there's in that sentence we've just mentioned. So the ported be fine. The ported, you can hear, so it's a good example of how English uses contractions. So this can be challenging for the listener, because we don't purely use it, these contractions, with pronouns or things like there, or, you know, as in, or for example, there's, there are, you know. We don't purely use it for that. You can basically add a contraction to the end of any word. So, and the ported, so what they actually mean is the port would be fine. But contractions are very commonly used in English. So when you're speaking quickly in spoken English, especially, so if you're listening to it spoken quite quickly, you would hear the ported be fine. So it's ported be fine. So I think it's something worth addressing, because for the listener, that can be, you might not quite catch something like that. So
definitely, yeah, especially when you're nervous.
Yeah, definitely. So, and I mean, in this context, if you didn't catch it, it wouldn't matter, but in some other contexts, it could. So, you know, I remember it was quite funny, actually. So I was speaking to a friend of mine, and I said something that, you know, so that perhaps a husband will do later. And his name was Mike, but not Michael. So as in, and then I said, maybe Michael do it later. Michael do it. And then she said, wait, no, not Mike, you know, so as in, and then she said, his name's Mike, not Michael. And then I said, I didn't say Mike. I didn't say Michael. I said Michael. I said, Michael do it, you know, so that there's no, so Michael, so
Mike will do it.
What I had written is not like a full version of Michael. It was more the first name. It's more just Mike, then an apostrophe LL. So, and those are very, very, so you might say, for example, you know, so somebody might say, you, Dinaro, call you later. You might hear that. It's a bit less common if your name ends with a vowel than if your name ends with a consonant. But, you know, so it's something it's something to bear in mind, let's just say.
Yeah, very unusual, because, yes, for me, I thought that you do it only, English speakers, you do it only with pronouns like you, they'll, but still, it takes time to get used to it.
Absolutely. So we use it far more extensively than that. So the ported, so that's no pronoun. It's just a regular noun. You just tack. You know, so if you listen to that and they said the port will be fine instead of the port would be fine. And I think that's another tricky one. When you have the apostrophe D, always bear in mind that it could either be had or would. It depends on the context. And it's the same with, for example, apostrophe S can be is or has, depending on the context. So if you say, for example, so if you hear the sentence, for example, she's got a new job, there we know from the context it's has. But if you said he's a plumber, then we know it's is. So this is so this is something to bear in mind. But English makes extensive use of contractions. I think it's because we like the words to sort of it's a feature of the language. So we like the words to flow into each other, and so as in contractions are part of that, basically. So it's similar to linked speech, but in a slightly different way. So it's definitely something that you may mishear, depending on if you've got a listening sample there. Okay,
I see.
So we need to think about. So question number 9. The 3 options are economy, standard, premium. And a good thing to remember is premium. If something is premium, it's really the highest tier. It's always the highest tier. And the customer specifically says, I've been stung with economy insurance, so I'll go for the highest. And in the previous part, the speaker A says, there's the highest comprehension cover, which is premium.
So they use obviously synonyms.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll go for that. But so it's premium. So the answer is C. And a customer wants goods delivered to the port, home, or depot. And we hear so as in. Would you, so that question is directly asked, and they don't use synonyms. So this one is quite simple. It's quite straightforward because, the customer is asked if they want home delivery local or to a local depot, or if they want to pick it up at the nearest port. So they said the port would be fine. So the port, explaining that they've got transport from. Exactly. So that would be A. So
this is it, right?
That's it. Exactly. So there's only 2 questions on this one.
So easy that I was confused. Sorry. I don't know. So with listening, only practice, as usual, practice makes perfect. And of course, you need to listen to, while preparing for IELTS listening, you need to practice listening IELTS tests. Because if you just randomly watch a series or films, you will not, it will not be IELTS vocabulary. And as I remember, IELTS vocabulary is 1,500 words. So how long do you think do people in advance need to have months to prepare for IELTS, like to be sure, not like shaking during the exam?
I think that there are lots of variables. So a lot of it does depend on, so as in a lot of it does depend on the learner. So some people can learn things much better by cramming. So as in learning a lot in a short space of time. So in a few days or a couple of weeks or something. Other people suit a more gradual approach of spending more and more time. But I would say around 3 months, because, and for some people it could be 4 months, 5 months, because you've got to think about what is feasible. If we're looking purely at learning new vocabulary, so obviously not all of it will be new, because some of the most common words in English, they're obviously going to make good use of those. But so if you look at learning new vocabulary, you can really learn 7 to 15 new words a day, depending on the person. that is very doable, learning 7 to 15 new words every day. So if you're in the middle of that, so about 10, that means so in 100 days, which is just over 3 months, you've learned 1,000 new words. So so I would say at least so to give yourself a good chance, do at least 3 months is what
And guys, while preparing for IELTS, there are books which specifically specialize, for example, on listening only, on reading only, or on speaking or on writing. So just when I was preparing for IELTS, I liked those books, not when in one book they give everything. And always start from listening. So when you prepare for IELTS, I think first you need to concentrate on listening, because while preparing for listening, you kill 2 rabbits with one shot. You listen plus read.
Yeah, absolutely. Or kill 2 birds with one stone is a common way of saying it. Yeah, so kill.
How do you say?
Kill 2 birds with one stone. Kill 2.
Ah, nice.
Stone.
That's how you say in the UK, right?
I think that's generally just in English. That's the most common.
I see.
So as in, it's just kill 2 birds with one stone.
And you do not say like kill 2 rabbits with one shot, no?
Haven't heard of that one, no. But there are very interesting ones. I mean, like, for example, the literal German one is, so catch 2 flies with one swipe. I think it's a swipe or a swat with one swat, so swat 2 flies at once, so as in is what they say. So there's lots of interesting ones with these idioms. And so I think idioms are quite, they can be quite interesting, absolutely, definitely.
Yeah, and that's how also your level of language is higher. It is more idioms you use.
Absolutely.
So it's I think it's another topic for an interesting video, YouTube lesson for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think idioms. So I've got a load of idioms that I can talk about. So yeah, absolutely. So nice. You'll have to watch more to see that later. Yes.
Yes, and as usual, guys, we invite you to our free trial classes. Please subscribe to our social media, and there you'll be able to maybe luckiest ones to win 1 month of studying at our school for free with our teachers from the UK and the USA. Bye.
Bye-bye.